Before you step foot on that cruise ship, there's one thing you absolutely need to get right: tipping. One wrong move, you could offend the crew, miss hidden charges on your bill, or shortchange the very people who make your trip unforgettable without even realizing it. From automatic gratuities to who you should really be tipping and when, most cruisers, even the experienced ones, are still making these mistakes in 2025. These aren't just minor missteps. They're errors that can impact the livelihoods of the hard-working crew, create awkward interactions, and even lead to a surprise charge on your final bill. I'm your cruise pro, and in this video, I'm breaking down the 14 big tipping mistakes not to make on a cruise, with real fixes to save your cruise experience, your budget, and your dignity. Most probably, chances are, you're already doing one of them. Stick with me to the end, especially for mistake number 14, because it's the one even veteran cruisers get wrong. Let's make sure your generosity lands exactly where it should and keeps you cruising like a pro. Mistake number 1. Confusing automatic gratuities with the cruise salary. The first mistake is a big one: confusing the automatic gratuities with the cruise full salary. It's a common misconception that the daily gratuity charge is a generous bonus on top of a great salary. In reality, for most crew members, these gratuities are a major and often essential part of their income. Understand that the daily gratuity is the foundation of their earnings, not just a bonus. When you pay it, you're not being generous. You're contributing to their base compensation as part of a system the cruise lines have put in place. This perspective completely changes how you approach tipping and makes you a more empathetic cruiser. Mistake number 2. Removing gratuities for no reason. This is perhaps the most debated and controversial mistake: removing the automatic gratuities for no reason. While you technically have the right to adjust or remove them at guest services, doing so without a legitimate reason, like genuinely poor service, is widely considered bad form. It punishes the entire crew pool, including those you never see, for a problem that may not even be their fault. If you have a problem with the service, go to guest services and address the issue directly. Give the crew a chance to fix it. If the service was genuinely subpar, it's fair to adjust the gratuities. But if the service was good or great, leave the gratuities in place. If you want to tip in cash, do it in addition to the automatic gratuities, not instead of them. Mistake number 3. Thinking the all-inclusive fare includes gratuities. Many cruisers, especially on lines that are marketed as all-inclusive, mistakenly think the base fare includes everything, including tips. This is not always the case. While some high-end, luxury lines do include it, many mainstream cruise lines still charge it as a separate daily fee. Before you book, always read the fine print. Check the cruise line's website or ask your travel agent specifically if gratuities are included in the fare or if they are an additional charge. Don't be shy about asking. Knowing this upfront prevents any surprises later on. Mistake number 4. Forgetting to budget for gratuities. This is a classic first-timer mistake that leads to sticker shock on the final bill. Forgetting to budget for gratuities. These daily charges, which are typically around $18 to $25 per person per day, can add up to a significant amount over a week-long cruise. Seeing a surprise $200 plus charge at the end can be a rude awakening. Always account for gratuities when you budget for your cruise. I either prepay my gratuities when I book, which locks in the price and gets it out of the way, or I set aside the money in my travel fund. Either way, it's not a surprise at the end, and I can focus on enjoying the final days of my trip. Mistake number 5. Only tipping your cabin steward and dining staff. It's easy to assume your gratuities only go to the people you see most often, but this is a mistake. Only thinking about your cabin steward and dining staff. The automatic gratuity pool is distributed among a vast number of crew members who work behind the scenes to make your trip great, from the laundry staff to the galley workers, the bartenders, and the chefs. Acknowledge the fact that the auto gratuities are for the whole team. This frees you up to give additional, separate cash tips to those who went above and beyond for you personally. It's a great way to say thank you to your favorite bartender or a steward who did something extra special. Mistake number 6. Not tipping extra for exceptional service. On the flip side, a mistake many experienced cruisers recommend avoiding is not tipping extra for exceptional service. While not required, giving an additional cash tip for service that genuinely blew you away is a fantastic way to show gratitude and directly reward the person who made your vacation special. I always carry a small supply of cash and small bills, $5s, $10s, and $20s, for this exact purpose. I might slip a $20 to the cabin steward at the beginning of the cruise to thank them in advance, or give a little extra to a waiter who remembered my favorite drink every night. It's a small amount for me, but it means a lot to them. If you are still with me, tell me your country in the comments. You'd be surprised how many cruisers, even the pros, mess up mistake number 9. Mistake number 7. Forgetting to tip the luggage porters. The cruise experience begins and ends with the pier porters, and a common mistake is forgetting to tip them. These folks work incredibly hard to get your luggage from the curb to the ship, often in all weather conditions. Tipping them is not included in the auto-gratuities and is a separate expectation. I always have a few crisp dollar bills ready when I pull up to the pier. A tip of $2 to $5 per bag is standard. I also do this when I get my bags at the end of the cruise. It's a small investment for peace of mind, knowing my luggage is in good hands. Mistake number 8. Not realizing gratuities are already added to bar and spa bills. This mistake can lead to double tipping, not realizing that gratuities are already added to bar and spa bills. Most cruise lines automatically add a service charge, typically 18 to 20%, to every drink, spa treatment, or specialty dining check. This is not the daily gratuity. It's a separate, mandatory tip. Before you sign a check, always look at the total. The pre-calculated gratuity is usually clearly labeled. If the service was absolutely amazing, you can add more, but you are under no obligation to tip extra. Knowing this saves you from tipping twice. Mistake number 9. Tipping in the wrong currency. A mistake that can create inconvenience for the crew is tipping in the wrong currency. Crew members come from all over the world, and while some currencies are easy to exchange, others can be a headache, leading to lost money from exchange fees. For cash tips, I always use the currency of the cruise line's home country, usually USD, or the currency of the port of call. For onboard tips, USD is the standard and most appreciated currency. Avoid giving them coins, which can be hard for them to exchange. Mistake number 10. Tipping with large bills and expecting change. This is a simple but awkward mistake, tipping with large bills and expecting change. In many tipping cultures, the expectation is that you will have the correct change or tip amount ready. Handing over a $50 bill for a small service can put the crew member in an uncomfortable position if they don't have change. I always make sure to have a variety of small bills, $1s, $5s, and $10s, on hand for cash tipping. This makes the transaction smooth and ensures your tip amount is exactly what you intended. Mistake number 11. Forgetting to tip room service. This is an easily overlooked mistake, forgetting to tip for room service. While some cruise lines have started charging a delivery fee for room service, it's still good practice to tip the person who brings you your meal, especially if it's a complimentary service. They are often working late hours to bring you your food. I always have a few dollars ready to give to the room service attendant. A simple $2 to $5 cash tip is a nice gesture that shows your appreciation for the convenience. Mistake number 12. Removing automatic gratuities to tip individually, but forgetting key crew. This is a common strategy, but one that comes with a big risk. Removing auto gratuities to tip individually, but forgetting to tip key behind-the-scenes crew. By taking off the automatic charges, you are removing the tip from the pool that goes to laundry staff, cleaners, and other unseen heroes. If you choose to do this, you have to be meticulously organized. I would make a list and ensure I tipped everyone who deserves it, not just the 2 people I saw most often. The safer and easier option is to leave the auto gratuities on and tip extra in cash for those who went above and beyond. This ensures everyone gets paid. Mistake number 13. Tipping with a bad attitude. A mistake that can ruin the entire point of a gratuity is tipping with a bad attitude. A tip should be a sign of appreciation, not a transactional, you did your job, exchange. Tipping begrudgingly, complaining about the cost, or making a show of it devalues the gesture for the crew member. Remember that a tip is a gift, and a gift should be given cheerfully. When you give a cash tip, make eye contact, smile, and say a sincere thank you. A positive attitude is as important as the money itself in showing your appreciation. Mistake number 14, not knowing how tipping works on your specific cruise line. Finally, the biggest mistake of all is not knowing how tipping works on your specific cruise line. Every cruise line has slightly different policies. Some include gratuities, some add them to your bill, some have different rates for suites, and some have unique tipping cultures. Before you even pack, go to your cruise line's website and read their tipping policy. This simple action will answer 99% of your questions and prevent every single one of these mistakes. Knowledge is power, and in this case, it's also good etiquette. There you have it, 14 big tipping mistakes not to make on a cruise. By understanding the ins and outs of cruise gratuities, you can show your appreciation with confidence, avoid awkward moments, and ensure the hardworking crew gets the recognition they deserve. Have a tipping question? Hit like if this video helped you, and subscribe to Cruise Pro for more honest advice and essential strategies for making the most of your time at sea. What's your best tipping tip? Share your wisdom in the comments below. Until next time, take care and happy tipping.